Good evening, everyone. Good morning to our friends in the US. We at Target Elevate are super proud to host our guest for this evening. Loved and adored by billion people across the world for her simplicity yet strong convictions, her journey exemplifies what, in a sense, Target Elevate aims to do. That is, build a tribe of powerful women in technology. Please join me in welcoming actress extraordinaire, our very own Lolita Sabrina Sulu Sakuntala Devi, the lovingly beautiful, elegance personified Vidya Balan. Vidya, welcome to Target Elevate. We are thrilled you are with us, and we have a perfect group of women technologists here in this forum today. Would you say hello to them all?
Yes, absolutely. Firstly, hi Rakesh. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And a big hi to all those women joining us today. The powerful tribe of women in technology, as Rakesh rightly said. A big hello to all of you. I hope you're all keeping safe and you're very, very well. And I hope you are shining the way you were meant to.
Thank you, Vidya. They are so excited to listen to you, but I want to go back and talk about when you met last week as we were walking you through what today would look like. I remembered your eyes lit up when I talked about this platform, what it is intended to do, that is to empower women in technology. Where does this infectious passion come from, Vidya?
Rakesh, firstly, I want to say, a big thank you to Target Elevate for doing this and for giving me the opportunity to interact with some of the brightest minds in technology. And, I think as human beings on a daily basis, we're given an opportunity to empower ourselves. And women probably don't see that opportunity because of the conditioning. Because we put everyone else before us. We grow up to believe that our purpose in life is to serve others, never to serve ourselves. Even when you're in the most powerful positions in big corporations or in the world, you still think that you hold second place, which is why we need a little nudge to use the opportunities that present itself so that we can empower ourselves on a daily basis, just like the rest of humanity. Which is why my eyes lit up, because being an actor, I think I've had double the number of opportunities, because not only am I being myself, I'm also playing another woman on screen. So I'm living two parallel realities on a daily basis, right? So I think I'm very greedy for that empowerment. That empowerment is very addictive, because empowerment is not a one-time program. It is work in progress, which is why I think my eyes lit up. I think my eyes lit up also because I've seen my mother, who's a modest homemaker, look for those various opportunities within her life to learn a little more every day, to grow a little more, to challenge herself, to break out of her comfort zone in whatever way she can. I think that's where my passion comes from. And I've met wonderful women in my life. And I'm not just talking about women who we see as well accomplished. I'm talking about women I used to encounter on the local train in Bombay. My God, women who were juggling so many things, waking up early in the morning, getting their kids ready for school, making sure they had all the meals prepared, and then they'd leave to go do a 9 to 5 job. They'd chop vegetables on the way back home on the local train so that when they went back home, they could cook for their families quickly and then get down to doing homework with their kids. And yet of course, they would get hassled. Of course, there would be stresses and all of that. But there was a drive. There was this fire in the belly. There was a sense of satisfaction because they were doing something for themselves. They were contributing to their family also. And, I've met also had the opportunity to meet, including world leaders, sports people, and film actors, people in film, in media, all sorts of women. And I've always felt very inspired by all the stories I've heard. There are always lots of hurdles, there are always lots of hassles. But I think today more than ever, women are realizing that they can live for themselves also, even as they live for others. And therefore, I think it's wonderful to be having these conversations at this time. And Rakesh, I'm sorry, I'm not letting you get a word in at all. I love
Vidya,
to talk. You've realized that.
I hope, the audience can at least just hear this coming straight from the bottom of the heart from you. I'll transition here, Vidya, and talk a little bit about you have been in a profession where you have proved yourself with performances that are effortless. Oftentimes, Vidya is termed as one of the most versatile, one of the most natural actresses in front of the camera. What does excellence mean to you?
Previously, excellence used to mean achievement, accolades. Um, Success. You mistake excellence for all of that. But over time, you learn that excellence is on a day to day basis. When I come away from set, if I feel, I've done the best I could do today, that for me is excellence. When there are times, Rakesh, when it's a very simple shot, I'm not talking about the complicated emotional scenes or comic scenes, all those people know, oh, those are tough. But I'm saying sometimes walking from point A to point B in front of the camera, when there is no conviction, can be the toughest to do. So excellence comes in, you push yourself to be true to that moment. For me, I don't know the output or I don't know the outcome. But at least when I push myself, when I strive hard to do my best, for me, that is excellence. On a day-to-day basis, that satisfaction of knowing that I did my best.
That's so true. You talked about excellence as not like a destination, but it's like a journey, and you do it, do it every day, and you pursue that path of excellence, and that itself is excellence. That is so true. Let me probe around another aspect, right? Sure. The most prestigious national award for acting, 6 Filmfare Awards, Padma Shri by the Government of India, and numerous other recognition. And still, how does Vidya kind of aspire to be the best every day? How do you do that?
I think every day is a new day. Whether or not my last film was a success has no bearing on what I'm doing today. Yes, it's a great feeling, and when your film is a success, or sometimes when a film is not, then you feel low and all that. But that I cannot let that impact my work today, because then it, I think, interferes with the potential of what I'm doing. Because raat gayi, baat gayi. I have to focus on what I'm doing, and because what I'm doing today can impact how this film turns out. So there's no point, especially as an actor, because it's all about emotions, right? You're playing with emotions all the time. If I'm going to carry forward my mood from the previous film or the previous day, or sometimes you in the morning you get up to go to work and there's some stress at home, and your maid's not come on time, or your drivers come late and then you've gotten late to shoot, and I'm very particular about being punctual, and all these things irritate you. But if I let all that interfere when I'm performing a scene, then I've learned, again, all this is what I've learned over time, because now I've been an actor for, everyone thinks 15 years because I've been in films for 15 years, but I've been an actor much longer than that. You know, I started when I was in college. I started with television. So I've realized that किसी को पता नहीं चलेगा कि आपका बैड मूड था, कि आपका क्या था, कि क्या, कि आप, you felt like you were on cloud nine and therefore the excitement didn't let you perform. No one cares. You have to be true to that moment in that moment. I have to be present irrespective of the scene. So these things I've learned. Similarly, I've learned that at the end of a working day, when I go back home, I cannot carry that back home. Previously, ये होता था कि after an emotional scene, I would feel drained, and then I would, sometimes you also feel like, oh, method actors ऐसे करते थे. I'm not a trained actor. So I used to think that, you carry forward the mood. That's how these big actors have done it. You've read about actors in Hollywood and all that. But all that it's different. Life is different from my job. As an actor, I cannot carry what I'm doing on set home. So both these things are important. But it's just being present, whether at work or at home or in whatever I'm doing, that I've learned painstakingly over time. Because it costs you when you're not completely present. And it's just exhausting, because outside of the film set, I'm just being me. If I now begin to be someone else and me, it's going to impact my mental balance, my energy levels, everything, So I think I've learned that the most important thing is to just forget about everything else. And I guess I feel very blessed, Rakesh, because I love what I do. So literally, when I'm on set, I don't remember anything else. Especially as a woman, people ask me, so how do you balance work and life? And I'm like, I don't do it. I'm incapable of doing it. When I'm on set, when I'm playing a character, I, don't get involved with the house. I know sometimes there are those overlaps, you can't help it. But most importantly, I just keep it really, really separate. I know I have the luxury of doing that. Not every woman has that. I know it's tough. But I think we have to all be selfish. If you want to call yourselves that. But you have to be selfish about you. And therefore about what you do.
Vidya, I will turn into another kind of an aspect of learning. And we all know we are not good with everything. Many a times I feel like I'm just not good at a ton of things, right? I feel miserable about it. What all areas Vidya struggles with?
Oh my God, dancing. Dancing on film, it's so tough. It's much easier for me now because I've accepted that I don't enjoy dancing. I think it's about acceptance. Like you said, we are good at some things. We are not good at some things. And it's absolutely okay. We are not superhuman. And it's ridiculous to expect that you'd be good at everything. So, previously, because you have the illusion of perfection, I would push myself and say, no one should ever get to know that I don't enjoy dancing. So that is an added pressure, and I would take on that pressure and I would want to give it my all. And now I give it my all, but without the pressure. I know I'm not a dancer. People also know I'm not a dancer now. I'll do whatever best I can. I'm an actor, who can dance when I'm required to. I'm not a dancer who's acting. There's a difference between the two. So I'm not expected to be perfect. And as long as I'm being true to the character, if I was playing a dancer, maybe I would train for it like I did for Bhool Bhulaiya. to do that song in Bhool Bhulaiya. I trained for months whenever I got the time. At that time, I was doing many films, but at the same time, but whenever I could train. So, you have that muscle memory and all of that helped. But I've taken the pressure off the expectation of perfection from myself. I think that's very important, and especially as women. I can't say this enough, Rakesh. I think we're so unkind to ourselves. We think that माँ दुर्गा, माँ काली, सबके बहुत हाथ हैं, हमारे भी हैं. But actually, what that denotes to me is that we are capable of a lot. They say that women are great at multitasking and all that. But maybe some women are not. And that's absolutely okay. I think if we were all present at any given moment in whatever we were doing, we would all be healthier. But we want to be the perfect daughter, the perfect sister, the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect mother-in-law, the perfect professional, the perfect friend, and that's not possible. That's not human. Instead, when you take that pressure of yourself, no, of being perfect, I think you flow more easily. Things happen more organically. And please, this is no advice. I'm the last one to give any sort of advice, but I'm just sharing what I've learned over the years. Being an actor, being a public figure, I've discovered so many things about myself, learned things about myself that, if someone tells you these things, that, don't take the pressure and it'll be easier, it doesn't make that much sense. But when you experience it firsthand, it's joyous. You realize that life becomes easier when you don't expect to be perfect at everything. When you expect that, yes, I have flaws, I have limitations, मुझसे इतना ही होगा. किसी दिन मुझे अपने बच्चों पे भी गुस्सा आता है, but that's okay. It's human. You're tired. And even at a job, we all want to give ourselves 100%, but some days you'll be able to give 50%, some days you'll be able to give 10%, some days it'll be 120%. But we are all striving hard, especially as women, because we feel like we need to do double the amount of work to prove ourselves. But appreciate how far you've come also. I think that's very important. We never appreciate how far we've come. We just look at how far we need to go.
Yes. Vidya, I'm just kind of, thinking about if I had an ability to zoom into Vidya's face and just record this for posterity. We are not superhuman. We crave for perfection all the time, and we are weighing ourselves in somebody else's eyes all the time. So, hi everyone, if you are listening to this, just take this note. Ease that pressure off your shoulder. You would have done a huge favor to yourself.
And Rakesh, in three days, it's going to be Valentine's Day. And this Valentine's Day, let's not make it about romantic love. Let's show some love to ourselves. If we are able to do that, starting with a day and then make it a habit slowly, you'll actually realize that you do things better. Don't forget about 100 things will have 100 people will have 2,000 things to say about you. Who all are you going to satisfy?
So true. Vidya, we'll transition here, and I'm going to ask you a bit of a direct question. Who is your biggest role model, and who have you learned the most from?
I don't think I've learned the most from any one person. I'm constantly learning from, my interactions with people, my experiences in life. A lesson I learned very early in life when I was doing an ad film for a bike, I think in 1998. I remember the director telling me that acting is not just about expressions. Acting is about living the moment. And to live the moment, you have to let yourself open to, so because you cannot obviously, you cannot fall back only on experience to play a role or to enact a scene. So you have to leave yourself open to experiences. You have to read whatever you can, listen to all kinds of music, watch dances from all over the world, watch films, just meet people, interact, be like a sponge and absorb. I think that has been my biggest teacher. And um, therefore, I feel that there is not one person that I've learned the most from. I'm constantly learning from people. I'm constantly observing people and observing myself. But I will say my biggest role model has probably been my sister, Priya. She's 4 years older than I am. And, I've always looked up to her. She's very sharp, very intelligent, very well spoken, articulate, can hold fort in a room full of people, absolutely confident, can get her way, and is shining bright always, has always excelled at whatever she's done. She's not someone who worked very hard, for example, as a student, but she would look at something, grasp it, and she would do really well. I've always admired how she's trying to do her best at whatever she does. Today she's married. She also has children, twin kids who are 9. And I see how she's constantly trying to do her best, growing at work constantly, also trying to be the best mother she can. And she's always, taking care of my parents. And of course, she and her husband find all the time. But the only thing today I say to her is that find time for yourself, which she doesn't do. But she's always been a role model for me. She's been my hero.
Thanks for sharing that story, Vidya. Lots of hugs and love from us as a Target family to Priya, and lots of regards to Vidya. We talked a little bit about Vidya, the actress, and the performing arts person that Vidya is. But we also know Vidya, who plays multiple other roles. And we see one of the aspects where you take up so many causes, in our country. What motivates you? What drives you to take up those causes?
When I was in school, our vice principal at the time, Sister David, in one of her first classes, had said, do whatever good you can do because you shall pass this way just once. I think that has left a deep impact on me. And I think my family, whatever modest resources we've had, my parents always did their little bit to help someone in need. If even one person is going to listen to what I have to say, for example, I'm involved with an NGO called Arpan, which works towards freedom from child sexual abuse. I feel if one more person is going to listen because I am saying something, I'll use my voice to draw attention to important causes. If I can make a difference in one person's life also, it's worth it.
Yeah, that's so well said, Vidya. I think in the ways that I think about that is when you help somebody, you bring the other person to your life. And in the process, you actually increase your circle of influence, right? You increase your circle of impact. And in that inclusion, you actually
Yeah.
derive joy, you derive a sense of contentment, a sense of happiness that can't be measured.
Yeah.
So, thank you for doing that. We are coming towards the end of kind of our conversation here. So, as I think about our group of
Right.
women engineers that are here, Vidya, they're thinking about their career, they're thinking about making the right choices in their lives. They are always thinking about, you know, the thing that you talked about, the expectations. Share any advice that you would have for them. Though you said you don't have any advice, but anything that they can take away from, this conversation.
I just feel that, you know, there is only one of you, there is only one of me. Each of us is unique. We have a unique set of abilities, unique set of limitations. Embrace them all. It's not easy, but at least try to do that. Be kind to yourself like you would be to the rest of the world. Take care of yourself like you would with your family and with everyone else. Most importantly, believe in your dreams. If you don't, no one else will. And I think we have one life. Who knows after this, you don't know what happens outside of life on earth. Um, I'm sure we'll all explore that at some point. But importantly, I feel that you are the worst and the best version of yourself. So, that choice is yours to make. There will be days when you're the worst version of yourself, and that's absolutely okay. It's not like I wake up feeling empowered and motivated and bright and cheerful and happy and energetic every day. All of us have good and bad days, and that's okay. That's life. You know, um, so I think it's important to realize that you make choices, and sometimes the choices will work well, sometimes they won't. And you're not superhuman, you're not a goddess in that sense, you're not infallible. You can make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. And it's But don't settle for less. Keep striving to do that little bit for yourself, because y'all are women in technology, really, and technology is what runs the world today, right? That itself gives you so much power. So do not settle for any less than you deserve. You were, and thank you for doing what you do. Because for someone who's technologically challenged, I'm in awe, I'm inspired by you women in technology. Don't ever, okay, there will be days when you doubt yourself, and that's also okay. But remember that, again, that you are unique, and what you can do, no one else can. And the other day, Rakesh and I were having this conversation about, for example, women who rejoin the workforce after maternity. And this is I feel very strongly about this because, we often feel that we've lost. I know lots of women, I'm not a mother, so it's not from personal experience, but I know lots of women who've had this experience. They feel like, oh, we've lost a few years. You've lost a few years, but what motherhood has taught you, that experience no one else has. Do not discount the value of that experience. That helps you bring something to the table, which is unique from your male counterparts. So do not feel lesser. Whatever the case, just go. Do not settle for less. Do not allow yourself to be told that you are lesser than anyone else. And just shine on. What the mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve, or rather, it can achieve. So allow yourselves to shine. Don't, we as women always, I think, also find it easier to hide. When we're shining very brightly, we get scared of our own light. We get scared of our own power. Don't be that woman. You were meant for great things. Like I said, I cannot say enough number of times that women in technology, wow, that's double power. I'm sorry, Rakesh. But women in technology are doubly empowered. So just use that power to change the world.
Vidya, you are an inspiration. I can't tell you what we are taking away from this. We will, we'll say bye here, but bye is temporary. We'll come back again. So thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day and the rest of the year.
Thank you so much, Rakesh. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the conclusion. And more importantly, the entire conversation. It was so good. It was so organic because of the way you moderated it. So thank you very much. And more power to you and your entire team and to all the women in technology. And again, thank you very much, Target Elevate. And I hope all of us have a great 2021.